to tune into the stream here to the rededication ceremony for the Bybee Lakes Hope Center. We have been working really hard throughout the pandemic to keep this project on track and even to open a little bit sooner than we had planned because of the overwhelming need in our community. And we're really excited today to be able to have a ceremonial removal of some barbed wire here, which really is transformational for this space to take it from what was built to be a jail to what will be a place of healing for our community. We're going to hear from several of the key leaders that have been involved in this project, and I'd like to invite up first our founder and CEO, Alan Evans.
Good morning, everybody in virtual land. Welcome to Bybee Lakes Hope Center. We're really excited about what's happening here. Because we can't wipe this off, I'm going to keep the mask on. We want to welcome everybody to Bybee Lakes Hope Center and the rededication of this building. We've been running a program that's trauma-informed and data-driven for 18 years now, and we want to bring something special to this building. We've worked hard over the last 8 months to get where we are today and get the building where we are today. We really are excited to work with a great group of people, our day CPM, our project managers, OTAC, our design team, and Precision Construction as our general contractors to get where we are today and have the progression of what's happening here so everybody can enjoy what comes next. I froze a little bit, but it's okay. So today we're here to celebrate the opening of the building and what we've had been through to move forward. About a year ago, I had an opportunity to come to this facility because I got a call from Senator Johnson who said, "Would you like some kitchen equipment?" And I said, "Well, sure, I'll take some kitchen equipment. We have facilities." And she said, "Well, I got a friend who's going to be tearing down a building in Portland, and would you be interested to come over and see it?" And I said, "I sure would." So I pulled my daughter in the car, and we came out here to this facility. And on the way here, we passed about 400 homeless people. And when we pulled up to the gate of this facility and we came inside, I couldn't understand why a building like this was sitting here empty, and there was such a great need in this community. So we walked through the building and we started to look at some of the things, and when we seen that the kitchen had a 30-foot long dishwasher, we decided that this wasn't going to be a fit. The stuff in this building wasn't going to be a fit, but I still couldn't get over the fact that a building like this that has everything in it that can be used for what it is we do as helping hands is just sitting here. So I asked the property manager, how come this is here? And they said, well, plenty of people have tried to put something here, but nobody's been able to do it. And at that time we thought, well, heck, maybe it's not meant to be. So we left and we went home, and a couple months later, Jordan Schnitzer and Senator Betsy Johnson were celebrity judges at a Iron Chef Goes Coastal in Seaside. And Betsy said, "Would you be interested in meeting Jordan?" And I said, "Absolutely, I would love to meet Jordan." And I went over and I shook his hand, and he says, "Tell me your story." And so I spent about 15 minutes telling him my story of homelessness and brokenness and trauma, and why I do what I do today as the founder and executive director of Helping Hands Reentry Outreach Centers. And he says to me, "Alan, if I gave you some money in the building, do you think that you can make this happen?" And I said, I'm not sure, but we've got big dreams. You see, we're facing a huge need in our state. All over the United States, people have nowhere to go, and there aren't enough programs to run into to make that happen. So we went back to the office. I told my staff a little bit about what we wanted to do, and decided, and then Jordan called me the next morning, and a week later we were here at this building. Well, we had big dreams. We made a proposal. He gave us a list of things to do. We've overcame all of those things. We began to move forward. We began to work with agencies in this community. And here we sit today. Today we rededicate this building. The history of this building is pretty amazing for a $58 million building to be sitting for 20 years. And an organization like ours to be able to make it special. It's been an amazing journey. Today we're going to rededicate this building, and we're looking forward to that. We're going to talk a little bit more about partnerships, and what I'd like to do now is one more thing. When I met Jordan, he had this dream of this becoming something that everybody said it couldn't become. And to have the opportunity to be the organization that he chose to give us an opportunity to make this special was kind of cool. And we're really excited to be able to be in this position now, to know that our next steps are going to be in less than 2 months opening this building. So I'd like to introduce to you Mr. Jordan Schnitzer. Jordan, thank you. Virtual fist bump.
Good morning. Thank you, Alan. It's very exciting to be here today. Why? In the Oregonian this morning, big article, Judge rules cities can't fine homeless for living outside. What's happened in our community and communities across this country is there are many folks that through lots of circumstances find themselves in a position they didn't want to be in. I remember asking Alan, after he told me he'd been on the street for 27 years, I said, some people think that maybe some of these folks want to be on the street. And what he said to me was, Jordan, no one who's on the street wants to be there. So what's exciting today, okay, is the fact that we're doing something that everyone else said couldn't be done. And why is that important? Driving out here today, on Lombard exit, there were 6 or 8 tents I hadn't seen before. Downtown, where we own several blocks, we have one block, the Bloxer block on 4th, we have 18 tents around the building. Okay, how are we supposed to rent that building and get it to be a productive, income-producing, tax-paying property when we can't even show the space? But beyond the economics, from a moral standpoint, okay, those folks that are in tents, okay, are they getting proper nutrition? Are they getting counseling? Are they getting help getting off the street? I don't think so. So it's not that we're saying a lot isn't being done every day. I've always said there are lots of agencies, lots of organizations, and well-intended politicians. But in the meantime, what we've done here, okay, is take the bull by the horns, take a project that no one else could figure out what to do with, and lucky for me and lucky for this community, that meeting Alan Evans, who's a rocket star in this world, down-to-earth, humble, never seen him be cocky about anything, okay? He's the person that's been on the street. He can talk to people on the street about his experiences in a way that all the degrees that are important, okay, can't do. So today I'm just thrilled about this next step. We're cutting down the barbed wire, beginning to open up the facility in September. By December, there'll be 240 more beds available, and by next year, 500 beds available for people who want to be here. No one comes here who's forced to be here. Their program is people have to want to be here, want to make a change in their life, want the help. And I'm just so thrilled with this organization. They are well-run, data-driven, well-financed. They have an amazing board of directors that keeps them on the straight and narrow, and a dream and a will to make a difference. And that's what it takes. The way this country was built, our city, our community, our state, was dreams of people. And what this facility now is about is dreams of hope. Hope that at least 400 or 500 people who are on the street now and their counterparts in the near future will be here learning how to get back into society, back to build their families, back to have jobs, back to be the kind of people they want to be and we want them to be. So thank you for coming. And again, Alan, Raven, all the staff at Helping Hands, all the people who funded the program so far, I just can't tell you how appreciative I am personally on behalf of all of us in the community who aren't here. There'd be thousands of people right now standing up here wanting to say the same thing. All of us are just brokenhearted seeing those who, through circumstances, find themselves on the street. So this is an exciting day and just the beginning of this beacon of hope of making a difference in our community. Thank you. Now it's my great honor to introduce Elizabeth Steiner Hayward. I actually got to meet her 15, 18 years ago when our kids were in school together. Here she was, successful professional person, and then she had this crazy idea about running for the legislature, something that each one of us in our country should feel honored to try to do. But she actually did it. And she's made such a difference fighting huge, complicated issues down at the legislature. And Elizabeth, thank you for dedicating yourself to the public service and making a difference and going down to Salem and working hard on behalf of all of us. Elizabeth, a big supporter of Helping Hands.
Thank you so much. It's a real privilege to be here today. I am a family physician by profession. That's what I've been doing for 35 years now. And every day in my practice, I saw people who could have used the services of a place like Helping Hands. People who were struggling with substance use disorder. People who were struggling to stay housed. People who'd had so much trauma in their lives that they couldn't get themselves back on track. And they needed the supportive wraparound services that a place like Helping Hands can provide. As a legislator for almost 9 years now, I've worked really hard to address some of these issues. I had the privilege of carrying a bill in 2019 to create the Impacts program, to do intervention with people with chronic behavioral health issues who are routinely involved with the criminal justice system. That's not a recipe for a healthy society. That's not how we should be treating people with behavioral health problems or substance use disorder. That does not treat people with the human dignity that they need and deserve. Helping Hands has proven year after year, person after person, that they understand that this organization gets it. And they get how to change that trajectory, to intervene and stop it once and for all. And I'm always, as a legislator, looking for pragmatic solutions with people who are motivated, who have proven track records, to make a difference in people's lives. So I, who have run screaming in the opposite direction from every board that I've been asked to be on, with the exception of Catlin's, for years, when I found out about this place and I visited and I talked to Alan and Raven and everybody else who's behind this project, I said, sign me up. And it is an extraordinary privilege for me to be here today as a member of the Bybee Lakes Hope Center Advisory Committee, as a member of the Donor Advisory Committee for the Oregon Community Foundation Fund that supports this project, and just a general cheerleader for everything Helping Hands does and for the Bybee Lakes Hope Center. This is an extraordinary opportunity for our community to transform a building that serves as a constant reminder of everything we do wrong into a constant reminder of everything we can do right. So thank you all for being here today. Thank you for supporting this incredible project. One of the arguments against putting services here and putting this kind of facility here in the past has been it's in the middle of an industrial area. There isn't enough bus service, there isn't enough other kinds of services. But I'll tell you, there's two things that I want to point out. The first is our proximity to the actual Smith and Bybee Lakes and the wetland area. There is data-driven evidence that shows that being involved with the natural world changes the trajectory and serves as a healing place. And this community is already working with Audubon and other nature-oriented organizations to integrate that into the services that are provided here. Furthermore, TriMet has made a strong commitment to change this, to make sure that this is accessible. And in order to demonstrate that commitment, Bruce Warner, the chair of the TriMet board, is here today to talk about it. So I'd like to welcome Bruce to talk about TriMet's commitment to making sure this facility is accessible in both directions. Bruce?
Well, good morning, everybody. It is truly a wonderful morning. Congratulations to everybody who's been involved in this so far. This is a monumental effort, and the importance of this event, the importance of actually symbolism of cutting down this razor wire cannot be overstated. I think it's just phenomenal. And again, Jordan, I want to acknowledge you for your patience, your generosity, and your vision in allowing Helping Hands to turn this into an opportunity, what used to be a political albatross, into a true asset for the community, the Bybee Lakes Hope Center. way to go, you guys. So as you heard, one of the things that people continually say is this is in the middle of nowhere and there's no transportation services. I disagree. There's lots of transportation here. TriMet has a number 11 bus that runs from the Rivergate, up through the Rivergate area to North Portland to St. John's. It operates on a regular basis, but it doesn't come down Ledbetter Road or come close to this facility. So I'm happy to report that probably as we're talking right now, the general manager is announcing in a public session that we're going to be rerouting that number 11 bus down Ledbetter Avenue and creating not only stops for the businesses here, which we hope will also take advantage of the service, but we're going to put a brand new stop right at the corner of Ledbetter and Bybee Lakes Boulevard. So that's important. The other thing I want to make clear to Helping Hands is that you have my pledge to continue to work with you on things like our reduced and free fare programs, which we make available to all other nonprofits, social service agencies. You should be able to take advantage of that. We also want to help in terms of actually coming out here and helping train people how to use transit. Because I think, that's the biggest impediment, frankly, is getting people to just understand how to use a bus or a light rail. We want to help do that. And then finally, we're going to work how we can get some excess vehicles maybe that are put out of service into your hands that you can use to do your own transportation as needed. So with that, congratulations again. I really am glad I'm here, and thank you for allowing me to participate.
So our next speaker is going to be Dr. Carmen Williams, the school principal for Fabian School.
I'm going to demask because I'm not convinced I won't be mumbly. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for including me in your rededication ceremony today. So, like Raven mentioned, I'm Carmen Williams. I'm the principal of Fabian Pre-K through 8th grade school. We're located in Northeast Portland, and I am blessed to be able to have Bybee Lakes in our very large boundary. Throughout my career, my focus has been on working with our most minoritized students and families in Northeast Portland, and whatever my role. My goal has always been to instill hope, and I will know that's right along the vision and the mission of Bybee Lakes and Helping Hands, and I appreciate deeply that they center hope in their work. In addition to hope, my intention is also to be trauma-informed, but I would say we shouldn't settle with just trauma-informed, but healing-centered. So in healing-centered, there's a person-centered approach, which I know is at the focus of what happens here. And that healing center engagement includes quite a bit that we don't often talk about. It services the humanness, and that we find through our interdependence, our collective work, and our service to others. And Helping Hands provides a service by housing the needed supports in one place. And Fabian School, we do the exact same thing. So we're great partners in that way. Fabian School is a robust community school. We're over in Northeast Portland, 29th and Deacon. We prioritize wellness. We house a medical, physical, mental health facility. We emphasize nutrition, community garden. We also center a wraparound services coordinator, community agents, all the folks, all the Army to wrap around our families. We also have an early childhood program where our Fabian students can start at 8 weeks old. And that program serves a community like the folks who would be housed here at Bybee Lakes. We also focus on STEAM education, and not just for a promising career pathway, but to empower, to help our students find a positive identity. And knowing that we're moving into pretty much exclusively online school situation in the fall, Fabian also will ensure that all the kiddos that come from Bybee Lakes has the appropriate technology they need, have tutors, and also I've offered that our staff will just come here and help folks log on and also give professional development to families and the parents who inevitably will be having to help the students while they're online as well. So in this way, I think we both have a priority to wrap our families and students up, and I think it's both of our mission and visions to help our families and our students reach their highest potential. So the future Fabian School in Bybee Lakes is really exciting, and I'm really, really eager to meet the families and students. And I thank you all for bringing me into the fold. And I'm excited to be part of this partnership, and I'm going to consider this part of our family. And I also would say, Alan, we got a lot more work to do. We got to house every single one of these kids in this state. So thank you all, and I appreciate all your hard work.
So one of our goals for inviting you all today is to introduce you to somebody really special. We knew that when we got this program up and running, we would need to have somebody ready to take the reins, ready to lead here, somebody who understood the other programs that were available, not just because they've worked for them professionally, but because they've actually accessed services for the homeless in the Portland community. I am really pleased to introduce you all, for those who haven't met, Jeff Woodward, who will be the facility director of the Bybee Lakes Hope Center.
Thank you, Raven. My name is Jeff Woodward, and I am the facility director of Bybee Lakes. Homelessness is something that is very personal to me. Thank you. Thank you. For more than 2 decades, I was a downtown professional working in facility and IT management. And I was someone who never thought I could be homeless. Then one day my life was turned upside down at the sudden and tragic loss of my wife. We had been married for 20 years. The emotional toll was more than I could bear, and I was homeless on the streets of Portland for many, many years. After unsuccessfully attempting to navigate the systems of mental health care, I was very fortunate and had my life restored after entering the City Team Ministries residential program. The big teeth of homelessness had changed me, and I began advocating for our city's homeless, and specifically the use of this facility. Wishing to improve what I saw was a broken system of care, I have worked in behavioral health and secure mental health facilities, and as a resident advocate in many of Portland's homeless shelters. For nearly 10 years, though, my heart has been in advocating for the use of Wapato. I authored an online petition and have written op-eds outlining specifically how this facility could be successfully used to help our city's homeless. I wish to thank Alan Evans, Raven Russell, our amazing advisory board, Mayor Ted Wheeler, Jordan Schnitzer, and everyone at Helping Hands for having turned this facility into a phoenix. I am very humbled and honored to act as the director of this facility, and I look forward to working together with our community referral partners in providing an additional option for those seeking help. Thank you very much.
I'm a little shorter than he is. It's also Jeff's birthday, I should say, and so this has been the best birthday present he's ever had, is what he told me this morning, is getting to take down the razor wire today and really transform this space. So thank you again for attending the rededication. So at this time, we're going to have Alan come back up. Well, it's a little hard to share cake in COVID times, so you'll have to have some later when you go home, Pete.
We have a couple questions come in too, so if Alan wants to answer them.
Do you want to come up and take some questions?
Sure.
The first one is, with the pandemic and so many places tightening their belt, so to speak, how will funding for fixing the facility be met?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question, is how we're going to be funded. and how do we continue to be funded. One of the great things is that Jordan has given us this building for $1 a year. That reduces our budget by a lot on what we're going to be able to do to sustain our operations, at least for the next 2 years. We are funded operationally for the next 2 years as of now. We have a gigantic chunk of the construction money, and we have a couple fundraisers coming up. We still have some major donors that we have to sit down with, that we're looking forward to having that sit down. COVID and what we're facing today has kind of put a little bit of a hold on some of that stuff. So we have been in contact with our major donors. Things are looking very, very well. We have continued fundraising efforts going on. We have an event that's going to happen on August 28th at 6 p.m. You can go to BybeeLakesHopeCenter.com or Helping Hands Reentry Outreach Centers.com and keep your eyes open for that, because everybody has an opportunity to give.
The next question is, with the pandemic, many people are struggling to pay rent, so it's possible the homeless numbers will rise in the coming months. Is there any concern that Bybee Lakes Hope Center will be overwhelmed with need?
Well, you know, I mean, if you look at what we're facing right now, just right now, yeah, we're already going to be overwhelmed. We know that there's a need out there. What's coming down the road because of COVID, because of you know, we're getting phone calls from average people who are successful losing everything they have, and we want to be prepared for that. This facility is built for that. This is going to be a place that we can help catch people and provide them an opportunity to get back on their feet. We're a little worried about what's coming. We know that we faced the face of homelessness changing about 10 years ago in 2010. And so we've lived through that as an organization once before, and we are prepared to live through that this time, because we know the face of homelessness is going to change again in the next year, without a doubt. Okay. Well, you know, I was sitting listening to everybody. Oh, hold on.
Let me suggest this, the question of funding is, yes, we've given them a 5-year lease for $1 a year. We have $7.5 million invested in this, so it's a plenty big investment on our part. But I think when we, for 2 years, tried to find an operating partner, and all the public officials said it wouldn't work, you know, we were about ready to give up when we met Alan Evans and the Helping Hands organization. So my hope is that we raise, you know, Alan gave him some ideas, raise $3-4 million. When this gets open and a lot of people who weren't sure whether it would ever work see that it's operating, I think there are a lot of people that come forward and help make contributions. And also some of the politicians then might say there are some public funds available to keep the program going. So I think the first step is opening the doors, cutting the wire, opening the doors, getting people in here, because there's so many in this community that are so frustrated and want to help. And so I think everyone should try to attend virtually that fundraiser. And once they see people in here and the way it changes their lives, the funding, I'm confident, will be there.
Thank you, Jordan. As I was standing back here and I was listening to everybody talk, it's really hard to not remember where I come from and what I've been through living on the streets for 27 years. You know, to have a place that you can walk in a door, receive emergency services, get some clothes, get some food, get a haircut, get a checkup, have a longer-term program, a safe, secure bed, a place to learn to change your life, a place to get educated, vocational training, culinary arts training, all of the things that we have here in a 155,000 square foot building to meet the needs of people. We're really excited about what our next steps are. We're really excited about today to cut the razor wire, to rededicate this building to what's coming in the future. And so I think, Raven, you want to talk a little bit, but we've got some. Here, why don't you tell them?
So our friends at Laneco Demolition are going to cut the razor wire for us, but first we're going to invite up Jordan Schnitzer, Alan Evans, Jeff Woodward, and our advisory board chair, Cheryl Hunter. to grab hold of these golden clippers that Precision made for us that we love so much. This is such a symbolic change to remove the razor wire, and we're really grateful for the whole team that has helped us get to this point.
Is this real gold?
Absolutely. That's how you're going to fund the place, Alan. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
And then Alan, when you're ready, then go ahead and give Jay the okay.
Okay. Hold on. Did somebody say no?
It was Marcia.
No. Okay, we're good. Here we go.
So exciting.
Oh. It's not coming down.
Guess it's not supposed to. I'm well prepared to climb the fence.
Yeah, what are they going to clip this? Wait, no.
Tear down that fence. Are you going to hang those on your wall? I will. I see it. Dramatic tension. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
So while they're cutting down the barbed wire, let me tell you a little story about the gold shovels. So in 1978, we broke ground on a project called Clay Towers, the first new apartment project, a subsidized project for low-income people in Portland, first new project in like 20 years. So we hired Hoffman Construction, like we have here, and they were fabulous. We go to the groundbreaking with Mayor Neil Goldschmidt, my father, myself, and someone from HUD, and there are these 4 or 5 gold shovels. And so we dig the dirt, and they take the pictures and so forth. So I said, geez, I said to the Hoffman people, what do you want to do with these shovels? They said, you can take them. So I thought to myself, gee, this is like a $16 million construction project. This is great. I get a few shovels for free. The first bill came, $50 for 5 shovels. So I better put this one back.
There we go.
There's a lot of work happening on the inside, so if you'd like to see it, we're happy to show you. We'll just need to get you a hard hat inside and every time you look.
What's my hope thing? You got one for me? Oh, okay. Everything going good?
With points. Great. Yeah, it worked. Yeah. Probably good. I do. They didn't tell me where it was. There's like